It's a thrill all its own.
Playing live music in a crowd full of people and a good sound, I mean, that's just the best, man. That's what we love to do.
And no city knows that thrill like New Orleans.
We live in the music capital of the world, so to be part of that scene, we honor that. I'm really glad to be a part of it, and it's something that we have to uphold also, and to pass on.
New Orleans band Bonorama has been creating music for 20 years. It's their passion and their livelihood. Working in the music business can be challenging, constantly evolving as technology advances.
If we want to go out on the road and bring New Orleans music to people, we rely on selling CDs as a big part. With iTunes, streaming music, Spotify, and all these different sources, for people to get their music, it's harder to expect people to buy your records.
When the real thing's out of reach, much of today's music comes from the cloud. Musicians make just a fraction of a cent for songs that stream on services like Spotify. CDs make money, but interest is on the decline. According to music magazine The Verge, CDs decreased in popularity by nearly 19% last year. Compare that to the world's oldest form of recorded music, up more than 10%.
We got more and more people telling us, y'all need to make a vinyl record. We'll buy it.
But it wasn't until New Orleans record press opened did the band finally decide to do one. In this modest warehouse in the St. Claude neighborhood, 5 people ensure the music created in New Orleans isn't limited to live shows. They're helping artists thrive while paying homage to the city's deep-rooted musical history.
A record is the best alternative to a live performance, in my opinion. And most other people's opinions, and I think that's why people want to listen to records.
It's just different than the compressed media that we all listen to everything on. I mean, it's just way different. The sound is just much warmer.
I think that it really does make sense. I see people walk in daily, and to them it's another revenue stream for an industry that doesn't have a lot of revenue streams for artists.
New Orleans transplant Dan Lauricella first thought of opening up a record press 10 years ago. He grew up listening to vinyl, fascinated by how records work.
A musical city with such significance as New Orleans, not having a manufacturing facility just seemed crazy to me.
When the machinery became available a few years back, Lauricella teamed up with his construction world co-worker, Remy Foulon, to turn his idea into a reality.
You know, if we're as efficient as building houses, we'll get stuff done.
In 6 months, they built a fully functioning record press.
Building this facility was insane.
But with no prior experience, the pair had a lot to learn.
I have never built anything more simple and more complicated and more challenging than this record press. It was the hardest thing I have ever done in my life, period, is making a good sounding record.
Since it opened its doors in January 2018, New Orleans Record Press has sold 200,000 records. And that doesn't count the 35,000 pieces of vinyl they scrapped while mastering their craft.
It's a very delicate, complex, really easy process that is difficult to achieve.
Pressing a record is 25% skill and 75% magic.
The magic begins off-site, where an engineer cuts the music onto lacquer.
It looks similar to a record player. You have a turntable and a needle, and instead of the needle receiving the vibration from the groove, we're going to send the vibration through that needle.
Experts at an electroplating facility then create a silver mold of those vibrations. That's what heads to the press.
This is ultimately written sound or etched sound.
But it is the reverse.
It is the reverse of the record.
Sometimes it takes just one test press. Other times it takes half a dozen. But these self-proclaimed artisans are willing to do whatever it takes to make a quality record.
It's painful sometimes, like when it doesn't work right and after all the effort you put in. And it's always painful till you push it through, and once you get that step when it works, it's rewarding.
Their hard work is paying off. The 5-person operation now produces close to 1,000 records a day with just 10% waste. That includes pressing, packaging, and shipping. They produce everything from Netflix soundtracks to Grammy-winning New Orleans artist PJ Morton.
And I have a habit of dreaming bigger than anything.
90% of their customer base is made up of local artists who save money without the high costs of shipping. Artists like Bonorama.
The timing with Mike being open at the New Orleans Record Press, our Zeppelin album, we've always wanted to do one.
Now, Bonorama is celebrating their first vinyl album release. A little taste of New Orleans music for those who want to recreate the rush of seeing them live.
It's just picking up the same type of sound waves properly recreated from what you originally did in the recording studio.
That vinyl experience has been, and most likely always will be, the way that humans listen to music.
It's a thrill, all its own.
When you put that needle down on that record and you hear a little bit of that, then you're in the room with this music at that moment. And then it's a relationship, a direct relationship between you and this music. It's nothing quite like it at all.